Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily. It's Des here, live from the boot room, ready to bring Wednesday workout, the episode that we do every week, trying to instill a little bit of midweek motivation. An episode with a difference today. Thought about doing something a little bit later, a little bit different. Got some of the regular running guys coming in to talk about something that I've been speaking about a lot this week. Of course, with the lessening of restrictions, I've been really enthusiastic and excited about the running groups coming back. Really, really looking forward to those. Put me in such a good frame of mind. I don't need any more motivation this week. Although, as well as that, I've got another guy coming in to talk about the current Wednesday workout challenge. Of course, what we try to do every week is set some kind of challenge or have an ongoing challenge. What we focus on a Wednesday to keep everybody sort of on it. You know, it's been a tough time recently, has it? COVID and lockdown and sort of things keeping us apart. You know, whilst we're putting big focus into coming back together next week at this venue. Really pleased to announce that this week. But what we've also done is try to stay together in many other ways. So I'll have more details about the challenge, the last man standing challenge we've been working out, which has really sort of kept people focused and motivated to keep at it, and why it works for us and why you can get involved too. So really looking forward to tonight's episode. Something I've not done before, not really done it on location. But as you can see, I'm at the boot room here in Nottingham. You know, it's going to be our base next week. From next week, I've agreed a deal with Mark, the owner, and Tish, his partner, to bring the running club from this exact spot. You know, somewhere where we can come and meet up and make the absolute most of what we do. Whilst I've spoke over the last 14 months about the importance of some of those challenges, you know, the virtual offerings we do, the online side of things, you know, they're absolutely fantastic and things that I want to carry on. But you know, nothing's like meeting in person, isn't it? All these restrictions have stopped us meeting our friends, our family, doing the things we really enjoy. So it's important to sort of emphasize how good this is going to be again, how important it is to the guys around me. You know, these regulars to the running group and my friends, you know, I've met them all through the running group, but have come sort of real big friends with all of them. So hopefully we can just sort of pass on a few of our thoughts on how we make the most of it and inspire people to join us, or at least to get involved. You know, if I always say that I'm trying to widen the running community sort of beyond Nottingham, you know, and those virtual offerings help that. But if you can't make it, you know, it's just a chance to sort of look in and be inspired, perhaps to join a group where you are, to get involved in some of those other activities we offer. So without any sort of further ado, I'm going to bring the guys in. They're coming in now.
Hi.
Hi, Dawn.
Hiya.
Hi, Dave. You all right? You all right out there?
Just about. It's a little bit cold, but not too bad.
Are you all right, Ben?
Yes, good, mate. Thank you.
Well, I'm sure you've heard what I just said there. Thank you all for joining me. I just wanted to sort of do something a little bit different today, just to sort of everybody see my enthusiasm this week about what we're doing. I've shared it across social media. I just wanted to sort of give people an idea of what running's all about as a group, as a community. You guys have been part of it for a long time, and as I mentioned there, you're all good, very good friends. So I thought it'd be worth just trying to pass some of that on. So looking forward to having some input. I'll start with you, Dawn. Somebody who really, really supports what I do, you know, gets behind all the kind of projects I run. You know, what does it mean this week, you know, for the thought of the running club coming back next week, you know? And just before you sort of answer, somebody who's kind of not new to the group, but new to that running group, you've got involved in running a lot through COVID and through some of the things we've done there, and you've become more sort of keen on your running, if that's the word to use. What will it mean to you for the group to come back?
Oh, it'd be great. I mean, we used to love Sunday morning runnings. We used to go out, do a run. Well, I used to begrudgingly do a run back then, but this from now on, it'll be a good run. Then come back to the pub and have a nice breakfast and a chat with all the friends. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I've really missed. You know, it's the meetups afterwards. yeah, for me, the running was nothing. But now I'm just really looking forward to getting out there again, meeting back up.
I think that's really important as well, isn't it? Because one of the things I try to emphasise is the social side of what we do. Try to be unique in the offering. Whilst other running clubs will have a social element to those, what we've almost got is a social gathering on every occasion. So sort of moving on to you, Dave, I know it's something you particularly enjoy, the social side of things, and the fact that we meet in a pub. And for that time, people have kind of looked at us and gone, what, a running club from a pub? And we kind of look at them back and go, yeah. So bearing all that in mind, what are your thoughts, Dave? What are you looking forward to? What did you enjoy from somebody who's been around doing running for a long time, the last time we had such base as this?
I find it really important to have a base. Whilst what we've been doing or what you've been providing over the past year has been really good. I think you need that base to be able to sort of discuss through what you've done, how your run's gone. You get that encouragement from people, and that sort of really spurs you on to go a bit more. Running can be long distance running can be quite a lonely sport, really. So it's good to have other people in the group you can share that with. You can find people that sort of run at a similar pace to you. And you can go out running together as well, which sort of really helps things, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's really important, isn't it? To remember the fact that whilst we do it, I've just touched on the fact we really enjoy the social side. The point is we all come together to run, and what a base gives us a lot of the time is it's just people of all different abilities and levels that come together, and you can almost have that conversation beforehand. What pace do you run? How do you fit in? Are you going to run with those and have a chat? That kind of thing. And moving on to you, Ben, of course, knowing you personally, you're one of the quicker guys in the group. DOrunning is open to absolutely everybody, whatever pace you do, whether you want to walk, run, just come along and get involved in the social side. But what a lot of people would look at this group at and probably think, that's probably not for me because I'm serious about the running. And we all know how serious Ben is. He does epic miles and epic distances for those who don't. So what do you take from the group? What is it that really sort of attracts you? Because I know from my point of view as somebody who runs it, potentially I could look at it and say, oh, Ben might go off to this athletics club or that athletics club, but you don't. You choose to do it with us, and thankfully you do. But what are your thoughts?
Well, it's quite simple, really. I mean, before I joined DOrunning, I'd been back running again in middle age for about 3 years before I joined DOrunning, and virtually all the running I did was on my own, with the exception of one or two group events I did, for instance, with Dawn and Dawn's other half. But apart from that, virtually all the running I did, all the training I did was on my own, and I did Robin Hood half marathon once a year and one or two other events in the year. And what joining DOrunning did for me was just open up this kind of world, if you like, of events I'd not heard about, whether that's local or national or international, and just the opportunity to talk about running to other people, which I didn't really have before, apart from with my other half who also runs. But apart from that, we didn't really have, like, our general sort of friendship group and peer group weren't particularly runners. And so joining a group like DOrunning, where the social aspect is such a big part of it, actually meant for me, I've ended up doing way more events to start off with, and just more running full stop. So the mileage I'm kind of doing now is way in excess of what I was doing back before I joined DOrunning. So despite the fact that, yeah, you could say, well, there are other running clubs that are more kind of performance focused, or whatever you want to call it, for me, DOrunning is perfect because it's just that opportunity to talk about running and kind of just be inspired by everybody else that's there, whatever their level they're at and whatever they're doing. They might be doing something that's not what I haven't done before, or I haven't thought about. So that's what it is for me. It's that kind of just inspiration of being around other like-minded people who are interested in the same kind of things.
And I think that's important, isn't it? Because again, just going back to the thing about having a base to run from, rather than meeting in a car park. I'm not discrediting anyone that does that. You know, it brings people together to start with. And sometimes I've run with groups in the past where the fast guys go off, and by the time the other ones get back, like myself, you know, the fast guys have left. You never even get to meet them. But here, what you're saying there is that you get to meet people with all different stories, you know, and it doesn't matter if somebody's slower or doesn't do quite as much in terms of miles, you know. Everybody's got a story, haven't they? Everybody's got a tale to tell. And as you said there, that you didn't have many friends before. Now you've probably not got many friends that aren't running friends. You know, and we're all friends on this screen now, so it's important to sort of realise what it does for us and what it does for a social life as well, even away from the running, away from this new base. You know, it's still an important part of what we do. Just going back to you, Dawn, like Ben touched there about sort of taking his running to almost another level, and I'm always trying to sort of say that Do Running will be there to cater for all abilities, all paces, all needs, you know, people with all different kind of perceived barriers. I know starting out running, it can be a really daunting experience, you know, to go along to a running club, to get involved in such things, particularly without trying to be silly about it, particularly when you see the likes of Ben or Dave who run particularly quick. You know, what are your thoughts in sort of mixing with these guys, and how do you sort of take something from that and take it into your own running, but also into sort of building up those relationships?
Well, I know for a fact, I mean, you come to realise that you'll never be as fast as somebody else. So you may as well just not even think about it. Just go out and enjoy it. I mean, as you know, I didn't enjoy running at all. I hated it. I hated every minute of it. I used to let people know. I used to moan all the time. I used to moan and groan about running. But I had to join, otherwise I'd never see my husband. So, but yeah, the last 4 or 5 months, you know, with doing the Come What May sessions, you know, the sessions that we do on a Wednesday and a Saturday or a Sunday. I've just come from one now to where I look a complete mess. You know, it's really given me another like insight into what running is, and I'm really starting to enjoy it. I just can't wait to get back and actually run with my friends that were running a lot faster than I was before. So I can actually run with the likes of, you know, Kay, Rachel, Hannah now, so I can actually keep up with them. I mean, I just can't wait to do it.
And again, without sort of, I'm sure it doesn't matter in terms of all those places, but without sort of comparing too much, it will just make you feel a bit more at ease, you know, because you feel like you've grown into the club a little bit. You say we've done that sort of separate work where we can in smaller numbers, but you've got that confidence to sort of feel part of it, you know, and that realization that it's not always about running fast. It's not always about running hard. You know, it's about taking some enjoyment from it. And what you can do when you've got people around you is just take something from them through the sessions. For everybody, through the sessions we have, it's all about sharing each other's success. You know, there's a very small group of us who enjoy sort of getting out and pushing ourselves a little bit more. We're trying to work on several habits as well. So I think what Dawn's saying there is it's almost just sort of bringing her into the fold even more, you know, before we get going. And then when you get going, you realise that you was in a place, so anybody else coming in, you're quite open to that side of things, but you're also a bit more at ease with yourself as you grow through, and that's what we try to do.
Absolutely.
And that's something you've kind of experienced, isn't it, Dave? Your experience when you came to do running, you was coming back from an operation, you know, and you come along and you did your 5Ks, and tell us a bit about that. Tell us how you sort of built into it.
Yeah, so about 5 years ago, or maybe a little bit longer, I was told I should never run again, which was pretty harsh news to take. Luckily, managed to find a way around that through surgery. Obviously, with that came a big recovery program, and I effectively had to teach myself how to run again, which was literally 30 seconds running, 2 minutes walking, 30 seconds running kind of thing, and building up from scratch. And that's kind of when it's that sort of time when I joined the running group. And yeah, as you say, I started off doing my 5Ks just as a bit of to get some base fitness together.
Oh, we've lost him there. I think he's not too far away from me, actually. I think his battery might have got. So I think what Dave was getting towards, a bit of a hiccup, but I think I've just seen him. He was just getting to the fact that he's recovered from his injury. He's done lots more epic things, and he's really sort of taking his running on. He's just looking at me now. Don't worry. So sort of moving on from what Dave said, again, it gives people the opportunity to find different ways to sort of get. We spoke about Dawn sort of getting into things. We spoke about Ben doing all his running and then joining the group. And there you see with Dave, basically what he did is use it as a platform to build himself back up again, after that operation. So there's many different ways why people attend running groups. If anybody's got any comments to make, please add those in the comments. I'd love to sort of share those. So next week, Ben, what are you looking forward to the most? Wednesday, we in this very location, we just after 6, we get to meet up again. I'm looking forward to the team photo myself. We always do a team photo, and on my part, I always do a report about what we're doing, what we've done during that evening. And I'm really looking to those side of things, just to sort of to make it feel real again. We've experienced COVID and all the negatives and running on our own and all these things, which are fantastic. I've said many times, even today, it's important to keep doing that. But what are you looking forward to most, Ben?
I think sort of obviously seeing people that I've not seen in the flesh for quite a while. Obviously, I've seen a few people socially since restrictions eased, but there's lots that I haven't. So there's just literally that seeing people in the flesh, IRL as it were, for the first time, but also just the fact that it's something that we used to do that we're now allowed to do again. So it's another sign that things are going back to normal. And it's funny, it wasn't until relatively recently I realised how much I'd been missing the live, if you like, do running sessions. It's kind of, obviously when lockdown first hit over 12 months ago now, it was a huge thing. We all immediately missed all the things that we suddenly weren't able to do. But then I think I kind of got used to it and went through a period where, with all the virtual stuff we've been doing, it was at the back of my mind. I was kind of not actively missing it. But then as it's got closer, the possibility, I realised just how much that running with people and the whole, seeing like-minded friends again and just being able to chat spontaneously, that word spontaneous, I think we've talked about a few times, that kind of has been really suppressed with all the restrictions we've had. So being able to just chat spontaneously with people, have random conversations, whether it's about running or other things. That's
well, it's interesting you say that, because I noticed we all met for a walk on Friday as part of Mental Health Awareness Week in the morning, and it was really interesting for me. I realised I'd missed it, but it wasn't until we was doing something together again that I realised just how much. It was really. I mentioned it on Wake Up to Walk episode on Friday of how it just kind of dawned on me. I'd been struggling myself, not struggling in terms of my mental health, but I did 1 or 2 tricky episodes of DOdaily, and I was beating myself up a little bit. And all of a sudden, I met everybody on Friday. I forgot about all of this filming DOdaily and putting content out there. And then when I did have to do it, after we chatted for an hour, walked around Nottingham City Centre, sort of woke up for the day, it made me feel fantastic. All of a sudden, I felt like I was building relationships again. Not that these relationships needed building. It's only COVID that's got in the way. It just felt like that relationships was building up, and a real feel good and real spirit again sort of crept into everything. And sometimes it's easy to disregard these things, isn't it? I speak about this every day. How a lot of the things I say is not rocket science. It's not. It's things we all know, but we can just be a little bit lapsed when habits change, like COVID caused. You know, it can be easy to go, oh, I didn't quite need that so much, but right now I'm feeling like I need this more than ever. You know, and if again, I'll come back to you guys in a minute, but yesterday I kind of thought, I was thinking it's tough. It's tough going through this, you know, and it's easy to forget all the things. It's easy to do all the things we've done and forget about the positive changes, you know. So we've got to take that into what we're doing and use it all to really drive on and make the most of how we go forward, you know, and how we conduct ourselves in a kind of COVID, semi-COVID world, you know, at least for the foreseeable. But that's kind of my thoughts on that. So when we, Dawn, you've mentioned there the Sunday mornings, and I'm saying that we're coming back next Wednesday. Of course, we from the boot room here in Nottingham, we'll have running clubs, which involve walking if that's what you choose to do, if that's your pace, you know. And on a Sunday, I'm going to look to create a walk leader type scenario where somebody will be leading a walk. So we'll be doing those at 6 p.m. on a Wednesday and at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning during the summer, 10 a.m. in the winter on a regular basis. If anyone would like to join us, you know, please do it. Welcome to all. The beauty about what we do, and I think this is really important, and I'm going to sort of come to you on this one, Dawn, is everybody sort of fits in straight away, don't they? You know, yeah. Bizarrely, why does that happen? I know this more than anybody, but I still ask myself the question: why do you think that people really fit into the groups from the off and make the most of it?
I think it's because there's people there from all different kind of backgrounds, you know, and everyone's just so welcoming, just welcomes everybody in, you know. When you see a new face come in, and obviously, I mean, I've been there, and they kind of stand on the periphery, and you think, come and join us. Can I get you a drink? And it's just wonderful. It really, really is. Really great. So come and join us.
And that's brilliant, isn't it? You know, and we've all been there, haven't we? We've all been that first person. And you said there, Ben, you ran on your own for a long time. Your friends weren't runners. What's the sort of what feeling do you get from those people who perhaps aren't runners? You know, what questions do they ask? What do they say? You know.
I think some of them, particularly when I'm talking about some of the longer runs and stuff I do, they just think I'm a bit mad, I suppose. But they're very supportive, is what I'd say. So some of them aren't in, you know, that's not their thing particularly. They've got some of them do play other sports. So it's not that they've got sort of activities and things that they're into. It just isn't particularly running. But yeah, they're generally very supportive, but just wouldn't want to join me on a run.
So I've said already lots of times, Wednesday's always about trying to instill that little bit of midweek motivation. Hopefully the guys have sort of done their bit in supporting me and helping me, you know, in encouraging you to either get involved in this or some of the challenges we do. So thanks for joining me. I've got a guy coming in who's going to talk about the challenge itself, the last man standing challenge. I'll say a few words, but for now, Dawn, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thanks, Coach.
Really appreciate it, and I'll see you next Wednesday.
Yeah, see you Wednesday.
Week.
Thank you. Bye. So that was some of the DOrunning regulars. Really appreciate them getting involved today. You know, it's important to keep passing on that message, like you just said there. You know, it's just trying to instill some midweek motivation, trying to give a different opinion. You know, you hear me talk every day. You're probably bored of that now. Viewing figures kind of suggest that, but I'm still here. I'm still going. I'm still going to keep banging the drum and trying to pass the message on about what we do. So I touched on the fact that we do the last man standing. We're doing a challenge at the moment called Last Man Standing, and throughout lockdown, what we've been trying to do is what I've called a Wednesday workout challenge, trying to encourage the guys to do different things. It's mainly not been about running, to be honest. It's been about whatever activity the guys choose, whether it's running, walking, cycling, getting some steps in. Most recently, we've been working off steps. I've got 1 or 2 plans for the future, so I'm kind of using it as a trial. But at the moment, we've been doing last man standing. Basically, what I asked the guys to do about 6 or 7 weeks ago now was complete 10,000 steps a day. And every time they do that, they move on to the next day. 25 guys started, and at the moment, 9 have dropped out by not completing those steps. Whilst there's a bit of banter floating around, it can be quite competitive. That's not the point. The point is really not to get too sort of deep into it. It's to get those 10,000 steps in a day, create good habits, create routines to take forward, be more aware of what activity you're doing. I'm going to bring a guy now who's got involved in one of the recent, this recent workout, who's really got something from it. He's made some decent comments across the social media. So, hello, Simon.
Bonjour. Can you hear me?
Again, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good. I'm rubbish with technology, so.
So he's, as you can see there, he's just been out on his bike. He does some epic things as well. I'll just give a shout out to the fact he's doing the Nottingham to Amsterdam bike ride. I'll post a link if anybody wants to support that. I'll post a link to the sponsorship page in the comments. So good work on that. Good workout tonight, Simon.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah. It's I've not been out much on a bike, and especially because I'm doing steps. You don't get many steps on a bike.
Of course.
So yeah, it's nice to get out and just have a good ride around.
So getting back to this challenge, of course, it's what Wednesdays are all about, is the workout and how we're tackling it. Today I did the totals. We've managed to, between the 16 of us still in and the 9 that have departed now through several reasons. It's a difficult challenge. I say every day it's hard to do it as a whole challenge and think too far ahead. But if you just think of one day at a time, quite easy to achieve, but doing it day after day can be really difficult. So how are you finding it?
Well, like you just said, you can't really think too much about day after day. You have to just go for today. And then when you've done for today, you wake up and you know you've got to go again. If anything, it's easy. If anything, I found it's easier to get it in early. I think we're on about day 44, day 45 now, and
so I
can't hear you. I think you just muted. But yeah, to answer your question, I'm finding it easier. It's getting easier. It's definitely it definitely wasn't. It's not an easy thing to start with, but it does get easier, and you kind of build a little rhythm and build a little routine, and you do know there's going to be days when it's going to be hard to do, when you kind of like when you 2,000 steps short and it's 9 o'clock and you're ready for your bed, you just kind of go just quick. Instead of watching EastEnders, I'm going to go for a 15-minute walk around the block. And then before you know it, you've done it. And then EastEnders is a good way to get to sleep.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Good stuff. So you say there about it gets to 9 o'clock at night. You know, some people might go, well, so what? Just sit down. Why is it making such a difference to get up and getting that extra bit of activity?
Just having that little target, because you could. It's that target, and knowing that if you get to there, you can have an easy rest of the time, easy rest of the day. And there's time, like I say, there's times when I've put my little one to bed, and I look down at my watch, and I come down from there at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I've still got 4,500, 5,000 steps to do, and you kind of think, I could really sack this off right now. But knowing that you've got some momentum, and you knowing that there's a little challenge on, it kind of helps massively to make you just go, I'll get them in. I'll go and get them in now. I'll go and get them in. Then it's done.
I think it gives you all that. I think what it does for me, I kind of, because I'm injured at the moment from the running, the steps gives me a sense of achievement every day. You know,
Oh, totally.
Once you hit that 10,000 mark, you're almost like, well, at least I can say I've done something. You know, at least I've made an effort to stay fit and well. And for me personally, it does a lot for my mental health and my weight and things like that. And I can almost feel like I'm prepared for the next day, even before I've finished that day, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, it does. And the first week is kind of a novelty. So you could get it in quite steadily and you're quite keen and all that. But then you get the odd day where it's hard to pull it out of the bag. But like you say, knowing that achievement is there, and it's just a little personal achievement. It helps with the group that you set up, and everybody's pushing the steps in there. So you sort of see that, and you go, I want to get mine in there, and you want to get it in and get it done. But yeah, I've definitely kind of felt I've built up a bit of a rhythm now, and I'm starting now to try to do more in the mornings. I mean, I'm not at work at the moment, so that kind of makes it easier. But even just little things like instead of taking the car to school, I'll make sure I walk to school, and then it kind of evolved into, well, I'll take a little detour on the way back, and I'll walk the other way around on the way back. And like the last couple of days, I've been hitting 9,000 before I've got back through the door. So it's. And had I just done it for 10 days and stopped, I probably wouldn't be doing that. I'd probably just be still trying to do it in the way I was doing it before.
And the reason I got you in, Simon, is because you joined this challenge. We'd previously run an Every Steps Count challenge. And I noticed the ones who joined this challenge really struggled for 5 or 10 days, you know. And I kept advising, it's really hard to start with. And I found it difficult. Once I had to stop running so much, I found it really difficult. So I understood the guys coming in, how much of a struggle it can be. You kind of leave it late. You think, oh, it's not too difficult. I'll get it in a bit later. I might have a drink. That's the worst thing I feel you can do. But it just dawned on me how people have grown into it. Someone like yourself, you've really grown in, and you've been quite vocal through the social media, through personal conversations about how much of a difference it makes. And that's really great to see, isn't it? You know, if you're getting something from it, it's all I want to do is trying to instill a bit of belief. But if you're getting something from it, that's brilliant.
Well, this is it. You've got in the runners and the movers in the group, there's a lot of people that are running, and there's a lot of people that aren't running. And something like this can kind of really do well for both. And I feel personally like I've had a huge hibernation over the winter through lockdown, and this was the first sort of thing where I sort of feel ready to come out of there, and I feel ready to do something. And I felt like I needed to do something, but I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And having trained heavily before and ran big distances and things like that, that you kind of like, well, I'm starting from zero. Completely start from zero. If I go out and try and run for 40 minutes now, I'll be dead tomorrow. There's no way I'm going to keep up do 10,000 steps tomorrow if I do that. And it kind of, so having that 10,000 steps there each time is kind of helping me to not outdo myself and ruin what I'm trying to do, which is I'm trying to kind of build up slowly to give myself a good way out of static movement.
Sorry,
yeah, you're all right.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Back in about half an hour, but yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, nice one. Yeah, I'll catch up with you soon, very soon. Yeah. Right. Cheers, Danny. Thanks a lot. Sorry. But I'm using it as a way to come out of no movement, pretty much. Which is,
I think it's important you mention that as well, because last year when I was really ill and injured after an operation, it kind of gave me my walking. I've told everybody a million times through DOdaily about the walking and how much I get from it. It gave me like a base layer of fitness. It gave me something to build from, rather than try and get out there and slug out, like bash out some miles, and it really hurt. It gave me some. First of all, it gave me some miles. It gave me some sort of activity, but it gave me some satisfaction as well. You know, and again, building up to that sense of achievement, and then also building up the fitness. It might not be so quick. It might not be so as epic as some of the things we spoke about already, but what it does do, it gives me something to work off. And you know, as somebody who's experienced injury and loves the activity and different things, injury is the worst feeling in the world, isn't it? And not being able to do it, not being able to do it for whatever reason, is really frustrating.
Building a good base is the best thing you can do. It's same as you're building a house. If you're building a relationship, building on good foundations fits and works. And I've certainly in the past, I've got an injury that can recur, an overuse injury, and I was training well and just really went for it. And one day it was just too much, and so I'm wary of pushing into that region as well. But one of the other problems I've always had has been, sounds stupid, but running from my house back to my house. It always seemed like a pointless run. And a pointless thing. So I always used to try and combine my runs with dropping my daughter off at the stables or meeting the wife down at the park with the kids and things like that. Whereas just doing these little steps and these just getting outside and walking, I've found that now I'm doing more stuff to and from my house without too much. It's broken that little head torture. But it is. It's the small wins. Like everything these days, we're all doing different things. We're all having different lockdowns. We're all going through different experiences. But I think all of us can really take on board that it's all about small wins. And
it's a term I use a lot. That so there's a lot there about the steps, guys. Hopefully you've sort of picked up on the fact that we try different things. We're trying to find new ways to sort of cover all bases almost. You know, try and take on different things. What I will ask you before you go, Simon, I've spoken to the guys before you came on. I spoke at length about the running clubs, the face-to-face running clubs coming back to the boot room here in Nottingham, in this iconic location. I can see behind you the world-famous City ground, which matches that logo on your badge. Of course, and we sat between here and Trent Bridge. What are you looking forward to about the return of the DOrunning activity? You know, the groups, face-to-face, being part of it. What do you get from it, first of all? What have you taken from it previously to this point?
It's the face-to-face contact. It's that's been hard to be without, and it's the time. So you know that there's a time when people are running. If you don't feel like it, because there's a set time, because it's a set day, you're more likely to go out and do something. Seeing other people doing the same sort of thing. And the group's varied as it is, there's always somebody that's sort of working on your level, and it's very encouraging. And that's what I've missed massively, just all that little bits. And I'm talking to you now on Zoom or whatever it is, and I'll be honest, this is the third time I've done these things, and this is probably the only time it's worked properly. And I hate all that. I absolutely hate all that. I've always kind of counted myself as a bit of a tech wizard, but this is all beyond me. So I'm looking forward to seeing people and just saying hello to people, and then go for a little run and go for a little walk even.
You can't put a price on that, can you? So what you know this place, you know Mark, the guy who runs it. What are you looking forward to about DOrunning now coming from the boot room and starting up next Wednesday?
Yeah, again, I've been here a few times, spoke to Mark. He's a great fella. He's going to look after you. Only have to come down here and you sit and be a customer, and you'll know that you're going to get looked after. So we know that what he's going to help us with down here is going to be a great base camp for for you guys that do running. So what I say, you can't really get much more of an iconic setting where we are. Do you know what I mean? It's unless you're a Derby fan, which you're still welcome, I'm sure.
We don't talk about those on the channel.
You just might not like it as much as you would as soon as you start running away from the ground. But yeah, it's a welcome return, that's for sure. Oh, and a bit of pie mash is phenomenal. So that's going to be something.
Don't worry, I'm going to give it a few plugs before I sign out today. So I really appreciate you coming on, Simon. Like I say, guys, check out. I'll put the link on. Check out what he's doing. Really epic stuff. Cycling all the way from here, from where he is, right there, all the way to Amsterdam, even across the sea. Is magical, Simon. He can do things like that. But
Gonna try.
Yeah, check that out, and thanks for joining me, Simon. I'll see you shortly.
Take care.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. So that was Simon, and following up on Dawn, Dave, and Ben, some really interesting thoughts there on how we can take something from the things we do. I'm just trying to sort of highlight that, like I've said many times today, in a different way. Really sort of push the message across. Running has been absolutely fantastic for me. It's my real passion. It's what I love, and the excitement I can't tell. It's not dampening, and I think it's just going to keep building until next Wednesday. If anyone would like to join us, like I said, we'll be here. Just turn up. No complicated registrations. There will be a small sort of registration, just a few details, an emergency contact, free bag storage. The Mark, who Simon and myself have mentioned, has put on some fantastic offers for some incentives, 25% off food at all times. So once you get your small Do-Running membership card, which I'll hand over, you can take that to the bar at any point. There's also a couple of other partners involved, a lady who does massages where you get significant discounts. And by attending one of the first two or both of the Wednesday and Sunday sessions, you'll be put into a draw to win a £50 bar tab. That's absolutely amazing, isn't it? You'll be a regular before you know it. But one lucky winner is going to win that. If you come to both sessions, you'll get 2 tickets. If you come to one, you'll get either. And we'll draw that after the first Sunday session. So we start on the 26th, Wednesday the 26th next week at 6 p.m. And then the second session, the Sunday, is on the 30th. And then every Wednesday and Sunday thereafter. Really looking forward to it, if you've not noticed. What I will say before I go, thank you so much to Mark and Tish for giving us this opportunity. I've promised them that we won't let them down, that the group's popular. It's going to bring some great custom to this fantastic place. It's absolutely awesome in here. Absolutely spotless. It's got TV screens. It's a perfect place for people who are interested in staying active, staying healthy, and most of all, staying interactive, staying in touch with each other, and making the most of what we do. We can keep that spirit going. We can share what we do. Please join us if you can. If not, keep sort of getting involved in the challenges like Last Man Standing. Keep posting into all the Do-Running social media. Got plenty of channels to look at. So please check us out. For now, guys. Hopefully that's encouraged you to get going. We've come out of lockdown. We've come out of lockdown much more than we were last week. We've still got a little bit of a way to go. Everything is going to be social distance and done in a secure environment. So please, if you can, get down here or just stay involved in what we do. Check out DOdaily tomorrow for Thursday Thoughts. I'm encouraging, as ever, you to post in your questions. I'll answer absolutely anything. I'll try not to talk about the fact that we're coming back next week to full group activity, but I'm sure I'll still be excited about it. So whatever questions you got, post them in, whether it's about this, whether it's about other activities, whether it's how you can get involved virtually, whether it's what I'm feeling like or what I feel about this situation or that situation. I'd love to sort of have plenty to go at. It's been brilliant doing this. I think it's worked really well. 1 or 2 little hiccups, but that's what happens. Hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, please like, share and subscribe. Encourage folk to join us as well. Keep spreading the word. That's all it's about. Absolutely anybody can get involved, whether you're associated to other groups, we don't sort of consider ourselves exclusive. We like to be inclusive to those that come, but not stop anybody doing anything else out there as well. So until tomorrow, guys, and that Thursday Thoughts, another live episode, 2 in 2 days. I'll be back at 6 tomorrow to answer whatever you've got. Just doing it.